Hi everybody, welcome to my little corner where there is no wrong way to play with paper. Today we are going to do a quilt block design layout. Now what that means is I take my scraps of paper and I take one of my favorite quilt block designs and I just mesh them together, and I use my scraps, create beautiful layouts and or base pages, and at the end I will show you two completed layouts, because I don't want you to think that you're going to create these and then you're never going to use them, because you will, or at least I hope you will. I hope you'll give it a try. So I will put all the measurements in the description below. Okay. I will put the link to the entire series in the description. It depends on whether you're watching it on your phone or on a computer, but wherever that description is, those links will be there and you can watch all 5 videos, and I will continue to add to this playlist as the year goes on, whenever I can fit it in. It's a whole new game. Let me tell you, this YouTube thing, that's a whole new game. And I have some stories to tell you today. Okay, so thank you for being here. If it's your first time, I would be so honored if you liked and subscribed. And even if you are a return person and one of my amazing scrappy buddies, I would be honored if you gave me a thumbs up. It really helps me a lot. So with all of that said, let's just have some fun. Today, I am going to do a modern mosaic. Now, you need to understand that a lot of quilt blocks have different names. They've been passed down through the years. Some of them are generational, some of them considered new. Yeah, you could see this block and it be called something else. I have seen it called other things, but this is what I know it to be. I will put it up here in the corner so you can see it, and I will put that photo up there on and off through the entire process. Okay, now I am going to create a 12 by 12 layout, and then I am going to show you a smaller layout, and I'm going to tell you another way to use it. So I know I'm getting ahead of myself. What can I say? At least I'm somewhat prepared today. All right, let's have some fun. So you remember I have told you several times when I think of quilt blocks, and this does transfer for me because I've discovered I don't like quilting. Like I do, but paper is my thing. But I love the designs. A lot of them have a tribal feel for me, and a lot of them are just classic and country and farmhousey, and all those things are me. Like in a big old ball, wadded up, that's me. So I enjoy quilt blocks a lot, and it lets the paper talk. To me, that's what it does. And you have heard me say I don't embellish these a lot because I want the time that I am putting in the layout is not figuring out clusters. It's not figuring out so much photo placement. A lot of these I use as charger pages, and then I have an adjacent page that's just full of photos for whatever the story is, because some of them do end up being one photo layouts, and that's okay. I love charger pages, a main page with a company or an adjacent page, I don't know, whatever you'd like to call it. I love to use these as like fall, introducing that part of my scrapbook. There's a lot of different ways to use these. It's endless. Really, it is. Heritage pages, so forth and so on. I mean, the quilt block pages to me make wonderful photos for grandmothers and great grandmas and all kinds of different things. Farm, I grew up on a farm. So yeah, I love them. Anyway, enough gabbing. All right, so we're going to do the modern mosaic, and it is a 3 by 3 square cut in half. Now that will accomplish a 12 by 12 layout design. Okay, if you want to do smaller, you're more than welcome to, and I will go over that later. Just keep in mind, if you're doing a 3 by 3 to make a 12 by 12 layout, it's probably going to be cut in half to have a 6 by 6, right? So 1.5 by 1.5 will give you a 6 by 6 square. Okay, so let's just have some fun. Now, again, I will put that photo up there. The modern mosaic is a series of triangles. So I've showed you many times in the other videos how important it is to cut your triangles in the right way. So make sure that you do that. Okay, so we're just gonna start. I don't even know where I was. I got interrupted. I have somebody on my roof because we had a wonderful hailstorm yesterday and it broke the skylight out in my kitchen. I can't yet. I'm not ready to talk about it. It was very traumatizing. I had hail shooting in my sink. Like, at least it was landing in the sink, right? And then I thought to myself, and it was as big as your hand. I'll put videos or pictures up, right? It was as big as your hand. I thought to myself, what if this hits my refrigerator or my stove? How do I call my insurance and say I have hail damage to my refrigerator? That seriously is what was going through my mind. Oh, yeah. And now I can't get anyone to come and cover it because our pitch on our roof is so steep. My husband is a little nervous to go up there. Oh, yeah. It's a whole thing right now. I have to laugh or I would cry. Like, I don't know what else could happen to me. All right. So, let's get started. I can't. I just can't. All right. So, we're going to start with the first one here. Again, I'll put it back up there. I gotta laugh. Okay, and as always, just temporary, nothing permanent, because, you know, we might have to move things around. Now, what I am going to do is I'm going to make myself a square. I don't even know if I got sidetracked where I even was, but just bear with me. Okay, so now, when I do this, if you put it on your mat, you line it up, you can do like, right, this is 1, 2, 3, have this, and 1, 2, 3. That's a good way to measure it if you use a mat like this. If you don't, you can also draw yourself a little line, or you can just line at the corners. It's all adjustable, right? It's not going to be the end of the world here. Now, oh, I remember what I was going to say. When you look at a quilt block, when I look at a design, I see squares. So see here, I've already created one square, okay? Now I'm going to create another one. And in quilts, there are rows and columns. So we're going to create a row. All right, so now the next one is going to go right here, just like that. And we want to concentrate here because we can always trim this edge up. And I don't remember, I think it was Deb who reminded me, it's called truing up your block. That's what it's called in quilting. It's been so long, I forgot. I think it was Deb. Somebody made me a comment and reminded me what it was called. I was pretty excited about that, actually. It doesn't take a lot to make me happy. And we're just going to go right down the row. Okay, this first one is pretty important, okay? After that, we can just keep on cruising along, okay? And it goes pretty fast. The hardest part is usually, now see how this doesn't match up on this end? So my guess is I don't have this one over far enough. I can already tell it overlaps just a hair. See, this should go from 10 to 7. Which means I don't have this one, which means they probably just overlap just enough to make that difference. And I'm gonna sit here and play with it till I mess it all up. That's what's gonna happen. It's never gonna be perfect. If you spend all your time trying to make it perfect, you'll never get this done. So remind yourself that it's never gonna be 100% perfect. It just won't. See, that's better. Okay, now I'm going to turn the paper because I think it's easier this way. Doesn't mean you have to do it this way. You can go do the next row if you want, but I am not working with fabric and I don't have to sew as I go and I can move it. So then I notice, if you'll look at it again, there are dips in each one. So all I have to do is create another one, right? It's gonna make another dip, a V, however you want to view it. Okay, and we're just gonna concentrate on these corners, where this all lines up right here. All right, and we're gonna do the next one. We're just gonna keep on going. Now I will tell you, when you're picking out papers, I think pattern paper makes it even prettier. Now that is my opinion. A lot of people like solids. They like one solid and one pattern. It also depends on what you have in your scraps. I love this print right here, but I didn't have enough for it to be the outer edge, which would have been like my first choice. However, I did have enough pink scraps to make it my outer edge. So sometimes your paper dictates what you're gonna do. I'm going to turn it again. We'll, oh, see, look, I got to gabbing. I didn't even put it down. Oh, yeah. It's not one thing, it's another. If I was a drinking woman, yeah, I would be drunk all the time. I would. It's a good thing I'm not a drinker. Oh, Jesus drank wine, right? I can't believe I said that. Yeah. Wow, Jen. This one's not right. Oh, I'm sorry. I get the giggles. Sometimes you guys know this already. All right, so I can already tell this is going to be off, and this is just me having done it long enough. All right, there we go. Now, line my paper up again. For me, lining my paper up is just easier. It's just easier. Okay. Let's see here. Get it on the line. Pretty darn close. Pretty darn close. Might have to adjust it a little when I get down here to the end, because I feel like it should be right there, but again, it's not always gonna be perfecto. Yeah, see, I knew I was doing something a little bit off. What do we got going on here? And again, you know, I'm sitting here kind of fussying with it because this is a pretty easy pattern. It's not gonna take us that long, but it does not have to be 100% perfect. By no means. We're just gonna do our best. That's a lot off. What did I do? Mayday, mayday. Well, we're just gonna have to true it up. See what happens on the other one. Maybe I can figure it out as I go. All right, let's turn our paper. We're gonna keep on going. We'll just go with the flow. Okay. Just like that. And our last one is gonna go right here. And again, really what matters is these inside corners. You'll notice all of those are lining up. We will trim it up when we get done here. Okay, I want this one to lay with this one. Not even, yes. So we're gonna go just like that. There we go. Okay, now we need to create the inside square. I'm done laughing, I promise. And it's gonna go just like this, okay? Now I have found that the best way to do this is with a T-square. So what I do is I concentrate, I don't worry about all this. Like I said, we'll trim it up, it will be okay. I line it up with this seam and this seam and make sure that my T-square is even. And then I put these two blocks on and I flip the paper and I put these two on. So let's do that real quick. And then we'll be done. If I'm not being silly. Okay, just line up my seam just like that. And then this one, just like that. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Not all crazy like me. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm gonna flip it. And I'm gonna go right over here. And I want to put a little bit more there. I'm going to put this on the edge. And who knows, I was cutting these in a hurry. I may have not cut them quite perfect because I was trying to get this video in before they came. Well, you know what the problem is. I don't have it on the seam. I'm sitting here telling y'all to do it on the seam. Oh, is that the side? Look at this. See, I told you, it always reveals itself. It always does. Yeah, see? Just like that. Something here didn't work right. I'll have to turn that around. You know what? This is real scrapping. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like, oh, it works out every single time for me. Sometimes I have to struggle a little bit. Sometimes. I'm just like y'all. I'm not perfect. There we go. Okay. Notice I got these corners. That's what people will notice if you do that and you don't line up those corners. Honestly, it is. Now this last one can sometimes get a little hairy. Okay. So this one, see how it's overlapping here? That's what the problem is. We're just gonna do our very best to eyeball it, and there we go. Okay, it's not perfect. That's all right. Let's see if I can make this edge just a little better. I don't really, yeah, it's just gonna have to get trimmed up because I don't really know why, other than the fact maybe I cut one a little bit off. That's the only thing I can tell you. Okay, but you'll see it is the design. And let me trim it up and I'll show you. So we're just gonna cut that hair, just a hair, off of there. Okay. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh no, it's not a 12 by 12. You know what? How many times is you need that extra room in your page protector? Lots of times, lots of times. So there is that base page. You can, if you want to, trim it up even more, make it a smaller block. That's up to you. I would probably leave this. I would be okay with it because you got to remember, you're still going to have pictures, you're still going to have embellishments, and it will all work out. So that's how you do that design. Do not stress over it. Don't worry about it. It will be okay. So let me show you this exact 12 by 12 in a layout. This is Junior. I did this one this morning. He was just a happy boy in his bib. Said gone fishing. So I used some embellishments from Love RTS. I used some wood veneer from MK's Some Assemblage Required store, and I just love it. I took mats and I fanned them out so that the squares fanned out, and I made sure my embellishment was over far enough. And I just love this layout. Is it not the cutest? First of all, I'm biased. He is the cutest, to me anyway. I'll try to hold it over so that you don't see it. And it's not perfect. I mean, there's a gap here, but you know what? It's okay. Be better cutting than I did. There's no wrong way to do this. The design is what you want to stand out. Now, to me, this design doesn't stand out great like this, but I still love it. I just do. I 100% love it. However, if you really want the design to stand out, and you guys know that's important to me too, you can do it in a 2 by 2, not a 1.5 by 1.5, and create yourself a block. And these blocks make great journaling blocks. Like if you were still doing this one, you could do small photos in the corners, okay? And then you could make this your journaling block. 100%. You could pop it up on foam so that this still stands out. There are so many different ways that you could do it. You could take your picture and you could pop it up on foam because this is basically a 6 by 6 inside of here. Okay. There's a lot of different things that you can do with this design. This one is Jason and Junior and his big brother JJ James. You know, I told you that whole story. And just them being brothers, and I hope that they always love each other. They're always each other's number one is my hope. I used some Dollar Tree wood veneer from my friend Barb, some feathers that she recently sent me, and then this was off a boho like sticker sheet I had, and this is my star punch I used as enamel dots, and I put some stars in these stickers here. So, and they're actually chipboard. Y'all will be proud of me. So there are the designs. I hope that you will try it. And I can't wait till next time. Don't stress over little things. Don't. Enjoy your craft. But people that look through your albums, they're not going to care. They're going to enjoy the photos. You know, we care as crafters. We want it to be perfect. But really the reason we're doing it is share our love for others. At least for me, that's what it is. I want to share my story. I want it to be there even after I'm not. So yeah, we all have different reasons we craft. I hope that you have a very blessed day. And as always, thank you so much for joining me and letting me talk about my issues with my roof today. And more than that, have a great day. Bye.